Welcome to Power Lunch Live on LinkedIn. I'm Rhett Power, your host. We do this program every week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and sometimes on Friday, around 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and we do it on this platform where we also broadcast on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and probably some other places. But it's all fun, and the fun part about it for me is two things. Number one, we talk to today's leaders. And I'm getting a little feedback. Sorry about that. So the fun thing is we talk to today's leaders, CEOs, authors, best-selling authors, thought leaders in their respective fields so that we can learn from them so we can get better at what we do. And the fun thing is that part of the conversation is interactive when we're live, which we are today. And you can ask people questions. So if you have questions of our guest today, please do ask. Join the conversation so that you can learn what you want to learn. If you like the program, give it a like or share so that your network can benefit from the same conversations. And don't be stingy, and so that we can also grow our program, which is a nice side benefit. Now, today I have Ryan Cote. He's Director of Digital Services and a partner at Ballantine, which is a direct mail and digital marketing firm. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rhett. Happy to be here.
Yeah, man. It's great to have you because I want to dig into your expertise. One of the things and one of the reasons I want to have you on the program is because when we talk about digital strategy and we talk about digital marketing, we're often talking about it in the context of big companies, right? We're talking about it in the context of Fortune 500s or Fortune 100 companies, people who have teams of people in their marketing department to work on digital strategy and digital marketing.
Yep.
When you're a Main Street business, that's not a luxury usually. And so I want to talk about that today and talk about what is digital marketing for, a small, medium-sized business? What does it look like?
Yeah, I mean, that's so for Ballantine, for the digital side of our business, that's most, our typical client is a small business, a little bit medium, but mostly small businesses. So this is definitely a topic I could talk about. So, digital marketing, it's using online marketing. It depends on your goals, but usually for our clients, it's using online marketing to generate leads. And so what does that look like? Well, it just depends on the client. It could be search engine optimization, running paid advertising on Google, social media marketing, producing content, running ads, creating content for your blog, sending out emails. It really starts with who is your audience? What are your goals? Okay, we know those two things. And then here's all the channels that we're good at. And how do we put it all together to reach the goal?
What are the biggest challenges for like a small business, like a Main Street business in terms of, I know that a lot of the clients I work with a lot of small, medium-sized enterprises and in my coaching and in consulting practice. And one of the things I often hear is, well, sure, we post on Facebook and we post some, we have a website and, but it doesn't seem to be a cohesive strategy around digital marketing.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, not having a strategy, because a lot of these things, you used to be able to operate the channels in silos, but nowadays they all kind of interweave together. And that's, that's best for results. Like the PPC, the pay-per-click influences the SEO because you're sharing keyword data. The content benefits social media, of course, because you're taking your content, putting it on social media. So the first thing is not having a strategy. But the biggest thing, besides it's not their expertise, so it can be overwhelming because things change all the time, it's not having consistency. A lot of stuff, or really all of this stuff, it requires consistency. You don't usually get it right out of the gate, especially like SEO, search engine optimization. That takes, nowadays, it's a long haul. It could be a year plus till you start to see really exciting action. Pay-per-click, even though you're paying Google for those clicks, the traffic's immediate, but it takes time to fine tune the campaign and just optimize the campaign so that they produce the best they can. Content, obviously, you got to produce content on a regular basis. So obviously, the biggest thing is just consistency. If you try to internally, unless you have a team, it's expensive. But unless you have a team, it's hard to stay consistent while also doing your main responsibilities.
So how do you minimize, how can a small, medium sized business kind of minimize their cost? I mean, usually there's some sort of advertising budget, but I think, you can't blow it all on Facebook ads, obviously. I mean, how do you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's if you're trying to manage a digital yourself and you want to try to minimize costs, it really is just comes down to not trying to do everything all at once, because you really can't. So I would say focus on one channel. Typically, when I get asked a question like, "What do I start with?" Usually, it's SEO and paid search that requires a specific expertise, technical, and you can learn it. You can teach it to yourself for sure. It just takes time. So I always say content creation. That could be in the form of videos. That could be in the form of podcasts. Could be in the form of blogs. Typically, blogs are the easiest because everyone can write and write on their expertise. So I always say start off with content creation because then you could take that content, you put it on your website. Some of that will rank organically, so it's sort of like an SEO play to an extent. Then you can share it on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook, and so there's ways to repurpose it. So I would say if you're trying to do digital inexpensively, just start off with one channel, and usually that recommendation is along content creation.
Do you think that video is the way for a small business to really share what they do and tell their story? You think that's are blogs, you think, still the best way to do that?
I mean, a lot of people shy away from video. That's where everything's going is video. So if you can do it, and I think it's actually something that every small business owner, I think it's a skill set that everyone needs to learn because everything is going towards video. And so I know most people are shy. They don't want to see themselves on camera, but I think it's something that you need to get used to and become an expert at because everything is going towards video and it helps create that personal touch. You can use it on social media and on your website. It just helps everything. And then don't forget with video, you can then transcribe it and then create content out of that. So you're going to get to the content through the video, but you start with the video and then you put that on YouTube and then you transcribe it and you create a blog post out of it. So it's a way to repurpose it.
Does, so for Main Street businesses, in terms of using digital and maybe even integrating, because I know you guys do print as well.
Yeah.
Is there a way you can how do you integrate your digital and your print and your direct mail and things that you're doing like that?
Yeah. So when we talk about integration, like between print and digital, it's really digital and direct mail, like the stuff you send out, like postcards. A lot of our
still effective. Is it still effective?
I mean, we do a tremendous amount of direct mail. Just to be transparent, our typical client on the direct mail side is very large companies that do a lot of it, that need help managing it, because when you do a lot of direct mail, there's just so many moving parts that they need someone like us to manage it. But we do have some of our small business digital clients asking us for print now, postcards, brochures, things along those lines. The easiest way to integrate it, honestly, is when you get the direct mail list, whether it's you're renting the data or you are using your own house file mail, like your customer or prospect list, you can upload that list into Facebook and LinkedIn. They find the matches, and then you can run ads to the matches. And then of course you can send emails out too. So essentially what happens is a certain percentage of people on your list, they're going to get your postcard or whatever it is you're sending out. They're going to get your ads in their news feed because you uploaded the list into Facebook and LinkedIn, and you're running ads to the matches. I can explain what that means, the matches, if you want. But
yeah,
okay. And then third party
that process, because I don't think a lot of people know that you can do that on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really simple. All you have to do is you just take your list, and the best.
So if I have a mailing list, so let's say I've worked for years and I've got a good mailing list of local addresses, my clients, and I want to tell them about an event or something.
Yeah, you would upload that. So you can match an address, but most people don't have their addresses, like on Facebook, for example. The best match is going to be if you have emails. And so what Facebook does is they look at, you upload a CSV or a text file of your email addresses to Facebook, just using them as an example. And then Facebook will look to see if that email address matches the email address of a profile, either the main email or their backup secondary email that they add to their account. And if they see a match, then you've got that person and you can run an ad to them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, it just creates the whole like integrated marketing much easier, because then you can send emails because you've got their email to them, like a newsletter. You can send out direct mail if you've got their postal. You can run ads to them in their news feed. The only caveat is that, let's see, what's the exact number going to be? You need to have a certain number to actually build out an audience where the ads will run. I think it's like 1,000. Don't quote me on that, but you can't have like 100 names and then upload it to Facebook. It's only 50, 60, 70% will match. And you need to have a certain size to actually run the ads. So it needs to be you probably need to have like a list of maybe 2,000 to 3,000 people for it to be effective.
Okay. Is it, do you get pretty high conversions on that?
You can, yeah. I mean, it just depends what the offer is, but it really, the way I look at it is nowadays, especially, you need multiple touch points. And so if you're sending out postcards and you've got a list of like 5,000, 10,000 people that you've met or at trade shows or whatever the case is, and you're sending out direct mail to them, it's really, you need to be also uploading that list to Facebook, because why not? They're going to get their Facebook, they're going to get the ads in their Facebook feed, they're going to get your direct mail. And so I look at the social ads as sort of like an amplifier of everything else. It's just another touch point.
What kind of budget? So say a Main Street business, small business, whatever. What kind of budget should you really think about? I mean, I know that's a hard question to answer, but what does this kind of stuff cost?
If you're doing it internally, if you're doing it yourself?
Yeah, if I'm doing running Facebook ads, and what's a good place to start budget-wise?
We always tell clients, and this is for our clients, I mean, larger clients would laugh at this budget, but we always tell our clients for social media advertising, start with $500 per month. We've got clients that spend a lot more than that, but that's a good starting point just to kind of see, because with social media advertising, using that as an example, you've got different ads you can run. You've got video ads, you can do boosted posts, you can do lead form ads. There's all these different ad objectives. So you don't really know which ad is going to work best for you. Like, for example, we run Facebook ads for an iron door manufacturer, and we ran Facebook's lead form ad to get quotes for them. And we didn't think it would work because people aren't on Facebook to ask for quotes for their iron doors. But it actually worked very well. So you just never know like what lead type is going to work best. And $500 is enough to get enough data back where okay, what am I going to pay per click, per conversion? What ad is going to work best for me? But so $500 per month, but give it at least 6 months, because you got to try a lot of different things.
So what typically does work better? Is it a sales ad? Is it a sort of an educational ad where you're trying to educate them on what you have or what you're offering? Or is it a deal? Or are you offering some sort of deal, like a sale, something to get them in the door? What kind of works best?
So I can tell you, just based on our experience, how we approach it. I think every digital agency might have a different like recipe or what they see works best for them and their clients. But we look at social media two ways. First way, it's sort of like brand awareness, but it's also like content delivery. It's like a content delivery platform. Nowadays, when you post on social media, the organic reach is so dismal that it's really, no one sees it. You have to put money behind it. And so when we're creating content, we like to look at Facebook and LinkedIn as a way to get our content in the feeds of the right people. So content delivery, like a content delivery network. So we create content, it goes in the client's blog. Eventually Google will rank it, but then also it goes on social media, and then we run ads to it, and so more people see the content. So that's the first part. The second part, of course, like clients are coming to us for leads. We always try to get leads through social media, and we do get leads, but the way we do that is the lead form ad. So that's it's a lead type where ad type where you can easily give your information to someone. So like, for example, you run an ad for this iron door quote that I mentioned. It says something like, hey, get your free quote on your next iron door or something like that. That's not the ad copy, but and then they click the button and a pop-up shows, and then their name and their email address is pre-populated because Facebook already has that information on you. And then you click confirm, and then they get their quote and we get the lead. So Facebook's made it very easy to get that information, to help you get that information from that person. Does that make sense? I feel like I didn't explain that well, but
no, that makes sense. I mean, it seems like it's a great way. And what does each one of those leads kind of cost, you think?
Can't really give an exact number. It really depends on the audience. There's a lot of variables. It could be, we also use it to get email addresses. So we've got a couple of nonprofits that we work with that want emails. And so we'll run these lead form ads to collect email, like opt into our newsletter. And we see it like 50 cents or less that we're getting opt-ins. I can't say that will be consistent for everyone, but it's the best way that at least we know of to get leads through social media is this lead form ad type. And you can do that on Facebook and LinkedIn. They both have it.
Okay. That's fascinating how, these are the same tools everybody else is using, right? And you can use them in your town. I mean, you can use them online. Are websites, you think, still relevant?
Websites? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the destination for all the marketing that we do. Maybe it's the type of client we have. It's a small business contractor, manufacturer. They have to have their services and their products listed on their website. People are searching for them. They go to their website. They inquire for more information. Maybe for bigger companies, I guess you can argue that doesn't make sense for like Coca-Cola to have a website. Maybe for them, it's more about like creating a community with their website. But for our typical client, yeah, I mean, it's how they generate leads, mostly at least.
Still a place where people go to first to see what the business is, where to go, what they have. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you, for a small business, is SEO, is all of that still, is it really important? Because it seems like to me, like if I have the grocery store in town or the bakery in town or whatever, the mechanic shop in town, that everybody's going to know who I am anyway. So they're going to go to Rhett's, car repair, because it's one of the only in town. So they're going to go to the website automatically. But so do I need to focus on SEO?
We do a tremendous amount of SEO. That's actually what we started out on the digital side, because that's what I know best. So we started out doing SEO for small businesses, and it's still a major digital service for us. I will say I've been doing it for about 15 years. I will say it's changed a lot. It's much more difficult now. It's still needed for sure. The search results page for Google has changed a lot. It used to just be ads and organic. Now it's like ads, organic, video. Did you know? Or people also asked, related searches, all this stuff. Google Map Pack. It's just huge, like just a collection of stuff. It's still very important though, because we see it convert very high along with PPC, because people have a need and they're going to Google and they're typing in auto mechanic near me. Now, obviously, it's not for the people that know you unless they forgot your name and they're trying to find you. It's more for the people that don't know you. And so we do SEO for, I think, almost every one of our clients, because we want that organic presence. We want, when someone's searching for their product or service, because that's a warm lead, we want them to land on the website. And so, yeah, SEO it's just changed a lot, but it's still very important.
Well, I mean, the other thing I'm working with a client now, and I find this interesting, because one of the things that's really transformed their business, they started out as sort of a Main Street business, but now they're shipping things all over the world, right? And they make some products, and so that has actually transformed their business, and people now find them, pretty high up on searches. And I think that that's really made a huge difference in their bottom line. I mean, it's allowed them to grow. It's allowed them to sort of maintain that small town business at the same time, really kind of grow globally and nationally.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point there. Because we have a lot of industrial manufacturing type clients, and you wouldn't think digital for them, but we have a lot of them, because especially as buyers of their product, they're younger now. They grew up in the digital age. Their natural inclination is going to be to go to Google and search for what they need, what they're looking to buy. Now we've got clients from like ones that sell transportation parts to rotary shaft seals, to hermetic seals to cable pulley assemblies, just random stuff that you wouldn't think digital, but people are looking for it. They're going online, they're looking for what they need, and we want our clients to be in front of them.
How do you kind of go back a little bit in our conversation? How do you know, as a small business, what platforms to pay attention to or to focus on?
I mean, I think that comes down to your audience. You need to know who your audience is. There's some that are always like a default for us, like Google, paid or organic. but not always. Like I'm actually after we're done here, I'm going to meet with a manufacturer of like wall coverings, and they mainly sell through distributors. So I don't know if I'm going to recommend SEO and PPC because their client is not the end user that would be searching on Google. Their client is the distributor. So how do we reach the distributor through digital? Probably not through SEO and PPC. So I think it depends on who your audience is. And then once you know who your audience is, okay, well, how are we going to find them? Do keyword research? Are people searching for the product? If yes, that means Google and SEO and PPC make sense. What kind of content can we create, like thought leadership content can we create to get in front of them, to impress them, to find them? And then social media, everyone assumes that LinkedIn is the B2B because it is the B2B marketplace, but you can use Facebook as well. I mean, even for our B2B clients, we use Facebook as an advertising platform because going back to what we talked about before, we can upload their list into Facebook. And then now Facebook is fine because we're targeting, most people are on Facebook, even though it's not a B2B platform. So we're targeting it's almost like B2P, like business to person. We're just looking for the person,
Have you seen some changes? What are the big changes in those platforms over the last couple of years? LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter.
Twitter, we don't do
from your perspective, from how you use them for digital marketing.
Sure. Yeah, I can answer that. So we don't do much for Twitter. We're mostly Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn has actually improved. It's still very costly to advertise on LinkedIn, I guess, because they're like the premium network. But ever since Microsoft bought them, their advertising platform has gotten a lot better. There's a lot more people on it, people sharing videos and content. It's become much more active, and the advertising platform has improved. Facebook, I would say probably the reverse of that. Still very important for us, especially for like contractors, but the advertising platform, because of all the privacy issues they've gone through, they've stripped away a lot of the targeting. Like literally a year or two ago, we could target people that buy cheese at the supermarket. That was literally one of the targeting selects. Nowadays, it's just down to like interests and basic demographics, but you can upload data to Facebook, so we can buy the data of the people that we want and upload it to Facebook. So it's still doable. So those are the two things. I would say with social media too, we're seeing a trend and we're implementing this for our clients, posting less and focusing more on the advertising because organic reach is so far down. And this is really mostly Facebook. It doesn't make sense to post a lot unless you have this gigantic budget where you can boost everything. So we're telling clients post less, and then let's focus more on the ads. Maybe spend more on the ads, spend more time in the ads. So that's what we're seeing with social media.
Is organic reach up or down on LinkedIn?
That's fine. I mean, you need to have followers to your company page. Well, there's two things. There's your company page and there's your personal profile. We still see a good reach with the personal profile, but that's like for my own stuff. For a typical client, we're managing their company page. And the organic reach is fine still for LinkedIn, but you need to have company followers, the company page followers for them to see it. So if you're a small business, you probably don't have a lot of followers, and there's really no easy way to get company page followers on LinkedIn like there is with Facebook page fans. But LinkedIn, I mean, Facebook, yeah, it's like I don't know what the exact percentage is, but it's like 2% or something. It's very small.
Just you brought this up, so I want to ask. But when you're talking to an owner, and I'm sure you deal mostly with owners or marketing directors or whatever, do you encourage the use of their personal profiles to help them promote what they're doing?
We always recommend. Like we have one client who's a wealth management company, and they're very big into like thought leadership because they're trying to just sell their expertise, essentially. Right. So we always recommend. We have a different way of creating content. I think this is actually something that your audience could get something from. Is that we do content. I would say half our clients we create content by doing transcription content, and so this wealth manager, for example, will interview their team on different wealth management topics. It's like a 10, 15-minute conversation. We transcribe the interview. It's not really an interview. It's more of a conversation. We transcribe the conversation, and then we turn that transcription into a blog post. So really what happens is we're we're extracting the knowledge from their brain, but we're doing all the heavy lifting. So what ends up happening is you have this really good piece of content because it came from them. And then we always recommend that they share it on their LinkedIn personal profile. We only manage the personal profile for one client, and he's like a really good family friend of ours. I think most people are like leery about giving access to their personal profile. Not that we would do anything, but it's just not, it's like more of a comfort level, I guess. But yeah, definitely.
Seems to me though that like in this day and age, that as a CEO or a leader of a company, there's sort of a dual track, right? You're trying to build your personal profile and build your thought leadership, or build your profile up, build your relationships up on your personal side, and then you've got the business side. And I think I think that you have to use it as a